Going to be talking about haunted objects today. So this is something that's always sparked my curiosity, and yeah, I just think it's really interesting to talk about, isn't it?
Yeah,
So we all know the very famous Annabelle.
yeah,
Hey George, have you ever heard of the Robert doll? This one here.
yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Wonky Donkey. Welcome
Hey,
in.
Wonky Donkey.
And there's a few others you can see here as well. Got a couple
Yeah,
paintings in
you
there.
got the painting of the crying boy. Have you got the crying boy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So just to name a few of the haunted objects. We're not going to be discussing all of these today. Know of the Crying Boy? Yeah, it's quite a famous one, that one, isn't it? So there's the Anguished Man, the Annabelle doll, Busby's Stoop Chair, it's that one there. Black Prince's Ruby, the Crying Boy, Conjure Chest. I hope I'm going to say this one right. D Book Box, D Boot Box,
Dibbit,
Gold of One
Dibbit box.
Pivot Box, Gold of Tolosa, which is treasure seized by Roman conquerors, uh, Hope Diamond, James Dean's car, and Robert the Doll and the Terrapin's army.
Hmm.
So that's a few that I had a look at today, but I'm not going to cover all of them. I've just got a bit of background information on a few of them that stood out to me, or the most famous, really. So if I put a picture, yeah. Sorry, it won't be a moment. It always takes me a minute just to find out how to do this. Why do they make it so difficult?
I have no idea. I don't even know how to work TikTok. I know to go live and post a clip, and that's it. Other than that, I've got no interest in the app.
Right, there we go. So this is a painting of the Anguished Man.
Mm.
It's a bit of a, I mean, I wouldn't like that on my wall,
No,
especially not my
but
bedroom wall.
then
Waking up
some
to that.
people have the weirdest senses of freaking taste and humour, do they?
Yeah, yeah. So this painting was created by an unknown artist. Um, and the current owner is Sean Robinson, and he's from Cumbria in England. And he claims to have inherited the painting from his grandmother. She told him the artist that created the painting had mixed his own blood into the paint and unalived by S soon after finishing the work. Robinson uploaded videos to his YouTube channel in 2010 because he'd heard crying and moaning in his house and saw a figure of a man, and all this started just after he inherited the painting.
Mm.
So that is the only information that's really known. I guess you'd have to go and look up this Sean Robinson's YouTube channel to see footage and stuff.
Mm.
But yeah, I certainly wouldn't want that in my.
No, not my kind of taste either.
It's really spooky.
Mm.
And then we've got the classic Annabelle
Oh,
doll.
wow.
So Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll housed in the closed occult museum with Ed and Lorraine Warren. So they currently own her. I think their museum did close due
Yeah,
to
they
issues, didn't it?
passed. Yeah, but the one of the family keep it going.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
I watched how they change Annabelle's case every so many years, and a new one is built, and it has to be blessed and everything, and how they have to handle her with gloves and it is really interesting.
It
But yeah,
is, isn't it? Yeah.
they have to do repairs to her case every few years.
Is that because the case gets damaged then,
I
or
think
just because they want it to be like
maybe the
renewed?
seal wears. Don't know.
Interesting.
Mm.
So Annabelle was moved into the museum after her hauntings started in 1970. The Warrens stated that a student nurse was annihilated by the doll. So this student nurse actually owned the doll before she handed it over to them. It was behaving strangely, and a psychic medium had told the nurse that the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a deceased girl named Annabelle.
Hey,
The
kitty.
nurse and her roommate tried to accept and be kind to the spirit possessed doll, but the doll was only reciprocating with malicious and frightening behaviour. That's then when they contacted Ed and Lorraine Warren and they got it put in the museum.
Yeah.
There's a hell of a lot of backstory to that. That is very, very bullet pointed information, but it's really interesting and really famous. Obviously, the films came out as well, Annabelle, and they used a
Mm.
really creepy looking. I mean, I think that's creepy anyway, really, but they used a really creepy one, didn't they?
Yeah,
Hey,
they did.
Kieran.
They did. Yeah.
In the films, I've not. Have you seen the films? I haven't.
Yeah.
Are
I'm
they
a
quite
horror
scary?
freak. You know, I've seen everything.
Are they pretty bad? Like scary bad?
I suppose you find them scary, but I just laugh at them.
I hide behind a pillow. I'm like, oh, what? It's just the jump scares. I don't like jump scares.
The thing I don't understand, right, about all these evil objects and that, other than like proper relics, like the vault the Vatican's just opened that's got freaking relics from ancient gods and that. I don't understand with stuff like Annabelle and that why they don't just get rid of what's attached to it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that
You
actually.
know, why keep evil attached to something when there's a way of getting rid of it?
Yeah.
Hi Andrew, it
Hi,
doesn't make
Andrew.
any sense to me.
I think the silence is better.
Ah, I've seen that. Is that the one with the boy, Kieran? Where at the end he goes in that like cave thingy. Not like a cave, but she's a real scary looking woman, isn't she? But anyway, we're going off topic already.
No, fine. I've
Yeah,
not heard of that one.
it is good. Yeah, in that doll. But so do you want to give some stories on Annabelle before I go in with the psychology?
No, that was all I had. That was all I had. I'm keeping it very broad today so that we can just
Right.
chat about it all.
So my take on, let's say for instance, Annabelle. If so, everything is energy and energy is everything. Energy cannot be created and it can't be destroyed, but it can be manipulated. So haunted items, why do they become haunted? If you have somebody that owns them or anyone within that household who has the slightest bit of evil in them, yeah, your memories and your energy gets imprinted onto objects. And so you're left with like residual energy of something evil. And then if it's moved from place to place, it will just continue to collect negative energy
Yeah.
until it builds. And then all of a sudden you're hearing that this object is suddenly causing all of this. And they say they can't explain it, but they can explain it.
Mm.
It's just like furniture is exactly the same. You get like haunted chairs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't know how many times that swapped hands. What sort of people have owned these items? But because they base everything on science and what you can see, you know, it's all written down on paper. Scientists say, well, we already know that they hide most of the truth from us. And if something evil came into contact with one of those items that's got all this negative energy inside of it, you've got a shit show on your hands.
Yeah. So, do
Bec-
you believe that these objects can be, um, they can have the negative energy
yes,
removed?
because yeah, but they can also be manipulated to do stuff
Yeah, in a positive way or a negative?
negatively.
Mm. And do you think that when they're in museums, people are coming with an expectation of them being evil, and because they've got that evil energy in their thoughts, it impacts the objects
Yeah,
so that it
definitely.
holds even more
Well, yeah, because
sort of bad energy?
they've been contained, haven't they? They can't do anything, so they're just becoming more pissed off than anything.
Yeah,
And they'll still continue to take any negative energy that comes into that museum.
yeah. Interesting.
So I say anything that has something negative attached to it, destroy it. We destroyed something when we did a house clearing.
Yeah.
A doll that had something. We destroyed it and got rid of it.
Physically destroyed the doll, or
Yeah, got rid of what
yeah.
was attached to it, then physically destroyed the doll, but properly, so that
Interesting.
whatever was in like attached to it couldn't go off and attach itself to something else.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the house we cleared with the Reverend.
the house. Yeah, yeah. I wonder if people have, well, I'm guessing people have tried to do things like that with Annabelle. Maybe they just take more than what has been done so far. Like maybe because the evil is so, the evil energy is so potent within them, it takes
Yeah,
a hell of a lot more to get rid of them or something. I don't know.
yeah, and if you've got somebody that's a bit mentally disturbed and has pretty dark thoughts, and you've got something a negative object in your house, whatever's in that negative object can actually manipulate you to carry out your dark thoughts.
That's really interesting. So if we go back onto this one, the painting of the anguished man, so he had his blood was actually in the painting.
Well, then that should have been destroyed because
Yeah,
he's still got a foothold on both Earth planes because his blood is in that picture.
and people are looking at it in a negative. I mean, look at us when we first brought it up. We were only saying horrible things about it because it's so, we're saying, oh, I
Well,
don't like that, and talking about it
we,
negatively
I don't
as well.
understand why anyone would want to create something like that. I don't call
Mm,
that art. I call that sick.
mm, yeah, it's very, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Balls. Um, the other object here is the Busby's stoop chair. This one's actually from very close to where I used to live, but I'd never heard of this until I was researching. So the Busby stoop chair, or the dead man's chair, is an oak chair that was supposedly cursed by the murderer Thomas Busby before his execution by hanging in 1702 in North Yorkshire. The chair is said to have remained in use for centuries at the Busby Stoop Inn near Thirsk. Due to the many deaths later attributed to people sitting in the chair, the landlord donated it to the Thirsk Museum in 1978. Thomas Busby was arrested, tried, and condemned to death after he murdered his father in law, Daniel Orty, in 1702. Orty and Busby were running a coin counterfeiting business as well as other criminal enterprises, and they argued about the business, which ended with Busby killing Orty. One variation of the story has Busby cursing the chair while on his way to his execution, whereas another says that he was drunk in the chair when he was arrested and cursed it then. Yeah, this picture here, you can see the chair, and it is actually hanging in the museum so that people don't sit on it. So they had people sitting on it, and then they would pass away after they'd sat on it,
that's
apparently.
yeah, yeah. You don't keep something like that.
I wonder if that's still there now. Apparently it is, but next time I make a trip back up north, I might go and see if I can find it. Um, so a little bit more on that. Busby was, um, oh, I've got a picture of this bit. So this is
Yeah,
actually a pub now. Um, they've got the chair as the picture, as you can see here, and it's called the Busby Stoop Inn. It's at a crossroads, right at the site of the execution of Thomas Busby. Um, and apparently it is haunted by his ghost as well. Locals claimed that during the Second World War, Canadian airmen from the nearby base at Skipton-on-Swale went to the pub, and those who sat in the chair never returned from bombing missions over mainland Europe. Is that a coincidence or not? In the 1970s, some fatal accidents were linked with the chair. In 1978, the chair was ultimately hung from the ceiling of the Thirsk Museum to prevent occupancy. Didn't want anyone else sitting in it. Now, I don't know whether that's like airmen who were in the war. I mean, there's a high chance that they wouldn't come back.
And again, if that many people sat in that chair, it goes back to like Topaz, it's manifestation. So
Yeah.
many people are believing that that chair kills people, so they manifest. And it does.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a really good point of discussion, is manifesting.
Yeah.
Do you manifest evil when you come into contact with these objects on
Yeah, and
purpose?
it's the same as haunted objects. The more people that believe it's got an attachment to it, the more it freaking does.
Yeah.
And the more you bring that to life. Because, like, energy is chemical and electromagnetic, where your consciousness is responsible for your thoughts, your perceptions, and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, energy can be manipulated in so many different ways. Why do you think they used to use, like, dark magic on people? Because all spells are is energy.
Yeah.
If you have the power to send that energy to do something to somebody,
Yeah.
you do. Sadly.
So Lacey has asked if manifesting really works.
If you know how to do it correctly, yes.
Yeah, I'm saying a yes on that
Again,
one.
again, it's manipulating energy,
Yeah.
and it's also to do with mindset
We are going to do
and frequency.
a podcast on manifesting, so I think that's really
Yeah,
good.
the higher your frequency, the likelihood you are at succeeding with manifestation.
Yeah, and we're going to do another one on frequencies as well. But we could
Yeah.
also tie them both into the same one. That would be
Yeah.
really Happy Sunday, Mark. Welcome
Hey,
in.
happy Sunday, Mark.
Yeah, just drop us a follow, Lacey, if you're not
Yeah.
already, and we'll put out a post before we do that one, and you'll be able to come and join us in that one then.
I mean,
So
there's so many classes out there that can teach you manifestation, but also a lot of bullshit classes that say they can, but actually they
yes,
just want your money.
yeah. Now the next one we've got is the Crying Boy. Oh, did I not save a close up of that one? No, don't think I did. It's alright, let's put it back on there.
I've got a
Move
theory on the
myself.
crying boy too.
I put you. Okay, this is the Crying Boy here. Little boy in the bottom there.
It's said to burn houses down, isn't it? Or cause fires.
Say that again?
It's said to burn houses down and cause fires.
Yes, but it always remains intact, doesn't it?
Yeah,
At
you
the
can't
fire.
destroy it.
So, it is a mass-produced print of a painting by the Italian painter Bruno Amarillo. It was widely distributed from the 1950s onwards. There have been many incidents of house fires where, amongst the charred rubble, the painting lies completely intact. So, when I was looking into that one, there's a few people saying, is it because it's covered in a fireproof coating? Maybe that's quite a good, point of discussion on that, because people can just turn straight to the paranormal, can't they?
Yeah. But again,
I mean,
that was a painting of a little boy, a real life. Like that little boy was real.
yeah.
And I do believe something happened to that little boy.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, which imprinted in that painting.
Oh, that's so sad. That's a really good thought, actually. It's a really famous one, that one. it's with that one.
And again, right, so if that little boy's energy was imprinted when that painting was done, you get something nasty or negative, they can manipulate children. So it won't be the little boy that's causing it. It'll be whatever else is attached to it too.
Oh
Using
wow.
that little boy's energy and imprints to, you know.
Yeah. The thing that gets me with this one is how is it on all of the prints? You know, it's mass produced, and apparently it's a lot of these paintings are ending up in fires, in house fires. But how is it all of them? I mean, the other things that we've spoken about are all just one object. This is a mass produced painting. How is it more than one? Is it coincidence or is it?
I believe there's only one original. The rest are mass produced, and again, it's manifestation. Everyone believes it causes fires.
That's interesting.
You've got thousands and millions of people that believe it causes issues.
No, it's not just the main original painting, Dawn.
It's spread.
It's all of them apparently,
Yeah,
or the majority.
It's spread out into the more. I saw one being burnt. It was burnt to a crisp.
Really?
Yeah,
So it can be burnt.
yeah,
Isn't
yeah,
it weird then how some of them?
yeah.
Oh yeah, blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. So
But anything that's replicated, that energy will go to that because
yeah, I suppose it would, wouldn't it?
you know. So it's a luck of the draw really. And
Yeah,
whether you've got again negative energy in your house that mixes with what negative energy has decided to attach to that little boy's, and it triggers.
yeah. The other one I'm going to put a picture up
Hey,
on
Optimus
here
Prime.
is the classic Robert the Doll. So, Robert the Doll is reportedly a haunted doll exhibited at the East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida. He was once owned by painter, author, and Key West resident Robert Eugene Otto, an artist described as eccentric, who belonged to a prominent Key West family. The doll was reportedly manufactured by the Steiff Company of Germany, purchased by Otto's grandfather while on a trip to Germany in 1904, and then given to young Otto as a birthday gift. The doll's sailor suit was likely an outfit that Otto wore as a child. The doll remained stored in the Otto family home at 534 Eaton Street in Key West while Otto studied art in New York and Paris. Otto married Annette Parker in Paris on May 3, 1930. The couple returned to the Otto family home in Key West to live there until Otto died in 1974. His wife died 2 years later. After their deaths, the Eaton Street home containing the doll was sold to Myrtle Reuter, who owned it for 20 years, until the property was sold to the current owners, who operate it as a guest house. In
I need a
19
flag.
okay, in
I'll just.
1994, the doll was donated to the East Martello Museum in Key West, where it became a popular tourist attraction. According to legends, the doll has supernatural abilities that allow it to move, change its facial expressions, and make giggling sounds. Some versions of the legend claim that a young girl of Bahamian descent gave Otto the doll as a gift or as a retaliation for a wrongdoing. Other stories claim that the doll moved voodoo figurines around the room and was aware of what went on around him. Other legends claim that the doll vanished after Otto's house changed ownership several times after his death, or that young Otto triggered the doll's supernatural powers by blaming his childhood mishaps on the doll, according to folklore. Yeah, so according to legend, the doll has supernatural abilities that allow it to move, change its facial expressions, and make giggling sounds. Some versions of the legend claim that a young girl of Bahamian descent gave it as a gift for retaliation of wrongdoing. Now that bit's interesting to me. Um, so apparently, the doll has caused car accidents, broken bones, job loss, divorce, and lots of other misfortunes. Museum visitors supposedly experience post-visit misfortunes for failing to respect Robert. It is creepy, isn't it? Um, yeah, if they don't respect Robert when they go to see him in the museum, then they have had bad things happen to them once they've left the museum. That scares the life out of me, and that is why I'm always really kind to objects, such as that clown that I was talking about the other day that used to swing in my bedroom. Um, I was really nice to him, he was my best friend, so that he wouldn't unalive me. So that is the background information on Robert. I think it with him wearing, well, supposedly wearing the clothes of Otto, his original owner, that's going to hold lots of
Yeah,
energy.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that one's
And it would be
creepy as hell.
interesting to know how all these people that suffered misfortune, were they good people?
Mm.
You know?
I have no. I'm not bothered about the people who went in and disrespected Robert because I just find that really rude. You know, if you're going into a museum and you've seen an
Oh,
object, don't be a
yeah.
dick to it. You know, be nice. It was someone's special toy. You know, I can imagine these like young people go. Well, might not even be young people, but just idiots going in and being like, oh, you know, it's just not nice, is it? It was someone's
But
special
but
toy.
again, the thing is, why would you go into a haunted objects museum anyway? Like, why? I don't
Just to take the
understand.
piss out of them. Yeah.
Yeah, why would you want to do that? It's not that I'm frightened, but I wouldn't want to go in a haunted objects museum.
Why would you
That's
not?
because I don't know what protection they use.
Yeah. I did wonder if you were going to go on protection with that
You
one.
know,
Yeah.
do they give out protection to each person that comes through? Because we give protection to anyone that comes out with us.
I highly doubt it, to be
I
honest.
give protection to anyone that visits this shed, even though I know it's protected and they're protected. You know me, I'm a bugger for protection.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think I would be scared of attachments and things if I were to go and look around,
It
especially with
just
the big things
it
like
just
that.
doesn't appeal to me. I think if you've got so many cases of one object causing so much, get rid of it. Like,
Yeah.
get rid of what is attached to it and destroy it. And destroy it
Yeah.
properly so that it can't go and attach to anything else. Because it will go to the. If you don't destroy something properly, if you just burn it, you're just setting whatever's inside it free. You have to use stuff to burn stuff with.
Mm, yeah.
And sage ain't no good because that just pisses anything evil off. It sends them to sleep. That's what makes me laugh when people say, "Oh, I use sage," but you're just winding them up. If you're
Mm,
using that on its own,
yeah.
it's like giving them a sleeping tablet. And anything negative you give a sleeping tablet to, it's gonna wake up freaking angry.
Mm, yeah. It's like giving someone really angry a sedative. When they wake up, they're just going to be like a bull in a china shop, aren't they?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah. So the next one is I really liked looking into this one actually. I found it really interesting because the artist um, he used a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for. You know where something represents something else.
Yeah.
So this is called the Hands Resist Him painting. It's a painting that was created by the artist Bill Stoneham in 1972. It depicts a young boy and a female doll standing in front of a glass panelled door against which many hands are pressed. According to Stoneham, the boy is based on a photograph of himself at age 5. The doorway is a representation of the dividing line between the waking world and the world of fantasy and impossibilities, while the doll is the guide that will escort the boy through it. The titular hands represent alternative lives or possibilities. So there's lots of hands behind him on the glass pane there.
Yeah.
The painting was first displayed at the Feingarten Gallery in Beverly Hills, California during the early 1970s. A one-man Stoneham show at the gallery, which included the piece, was reviewed by the art critic at the Los Angeles Times. During the show, the painting was purchased by actor John Marley. He was in The Godfather. Anyway, not relevant. Sometime after Marley's death, the painting was found at the site of an old brewery by an elderly Californian couple, as stated in their original eBay listing. The painting appeared on the auction website eBay in February 2000. According to the seller, the couple, the painting carried some form of curse. Their eBay description made a series of claims that the painting was cursed or haunted, including in those claims were that the characters in the paintings moved during the night, and that they would sometimes leave the painting and enter the room in which it was being displayed. Also included with the listings were a series of photographs that were said to be evidence of an incident in which the female doll character threatened the male character with a gun that she was holding, causing him to attempt to leave the painting. It isn't actually a weapon. It was a lithium battery with wires coming out of it. The artist confirmed, but it does look like it. So when they put it on eBay, this elderly couple that got the painting, they put it on eBay and they did put a disclaimer with the listing, absolving the seller from all liability if the painting was purchased. So news of the listing was quickly spread by internet users who forwarded the link to their friends or wrote their own pages about it. Some people claimed that simply viewing the photos of the painting made them feel ill or have unpleasant experiences. Stoneham recalls that both the owner of the gallery in which the painting was first displayed and the art critic who reviewed it died within 1 year of coming into contact with the painting. An individual who saw the story about the original painting contacted the artist in 2004 about commissioning a sequel. The artist, Stoneham, accepted and painted Resistance at the Threshold. The sequel depicts the same characters 40 years later in the same style as the original, and I've got that one, which is there. In 2021, Stoneham created what he says is the final painting of the series. So I will show you the pictures in the series because it's only a few. What Remains depicts the original painting setting as it deteriorated and scattered within the detritus of earlier lives and stories. So that was the second painting. And then there was that one. That one. And then the last one was this one. So I really like this. I think it's really interesting. The way that he's done it through the series of paintings. So he starts off as a young boy with a doll, and then he goes on to being an older man, and the doll's hanging up with its face coming off, and there's still hands behind him. And then you've got him as an older guy again. The doll is now a real girl. She's holding the doll's face. There's lots of thorns above him. Big waves
There's
coming
another
in.
thing as well, like, does anybody know whether this painter was into the occult? Do they spell these paintings? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. And then the last one is the boy passed away. The doll just has the battery there, and everything's sort of burning and grim. That is a really interesting thought, Ali. Actually, do they put spells on the
Because
original?
you can curse shit with a spell.
Yeah, because artists can do whatever they like. Really, I mean, art is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Dawn just got a shiver down her right side. Baby's in the house.
My lover.
So I find that one the creepiest, but actually I quite like it.
Do you know what? I feel so much sadness off that little boy.
So do I. Yeah, and that is him. He painted himself, self-portrait. You okay, Davey?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, he's got a lot of trauma. Something's happened.
Like all the hands behind trying to get to him, they can't. There's just a thin pane of glass behind him, and
yeah,
the doll is supposed to lead him she's holding a battery that all the wires are coming out of, and yeah, it's just. But what I find interesting as well is these people who have had the painting saying that it's been. What did we say now? Let's have a look. So the characters in the painting moved during the night, and that they would sometimes leave the painting and enter the room in which it was being displayed. And they actually put on the eBay listing some photographs that were evidence of an incident in which the female doll character threatened. So the doll actually threatened the boy with the GUN that she was holding,
No way.
causing him to then attempt to leave the painting. These people who put this on eBay have actual photographic evidence of that happening. That's amazing, and I really want to see that. If anyone can find that,
Yeah.
please send us a DM with that picture, because that would be incredible to
Yeah.
see. Reminds you of a lad you grew up with. Oh, really? Might be him. So yeah, that is that one. The Hands Resist Him painting. I'll just go through the other paintings again for you quickly.
Yeah, it would be really interesting to see, wouldn't it, Doodle? Like,
that's him again as an artist.
yeah, I sense.
Self-portrait.
Do you know what? I sense a weird vibe, energy off of it. Like,
Yeah,
I can't quite place it.
yeah. And then
I feel something dark's involved. Like,
I would love to chat with that artist and just see what his thoughts were when he was painting them.
is he still alive?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah. I mean, the last painting was
And then,
2021.
you know me, I think outside the box.
Mm.
Who got him to paint them?
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. It's like, you know, my opinions on mirrors.
Mm.
I kind of feel the same about pictures that people are asked to do.
Mm. So
And
the
produce.
first one, I'd be interested to know why he painted that first one of him as a young boy.
Yeah, and why all those hands are in the background. Which to me looks like lots of people trying to get at him.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it?
Mm.
Alicia, some painters paint their feelings. Yeah, exactly. So I'd love to have a chat with him one day and find out what his thoughts were when he was painting that first picture there. And then
yeah, for sure.
He only did the other ones because people had asked him to do a sequel of it. And then that's when he came up with the idea of doing all these other ones then. But that first one really gets me, like, why? Why do that? What was it about your life that made you want to paint yourself in that way? And then we come on to the last point of discussion, which is somewhere. I have the picture. I can find it. So you see, sorry, go on.
It would be interesting to I'd love to have a chat with him, because it'd be interesting to see whether he painted that subconsciously.
Yeah.
Like from his subconscious, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who suffer horrific trauma, they can actually forget it, and it will stay in your subconscious until you tap into that and retrieve it.
Interesting. I've seen some paintings from artists that have bipolar as well, and when the things that they paint are fascinating to me because it's like a glimpse into what they see.
Yeah.
And some of it can be dark, and some of it isn't. But it's just, yeah, incredible. And the way that it's each art is subjective, isn't it? whatever the
Yeah.
artist wants it to be, but also it's whatever you want it to be when you're looking at it, and it can mean lots of different things to different people. But
Yeah, it's the same as like when we was talking about the films, wasn't it? You know, what gets into people's heads, especially with
mm,
that freaking the one I hate. It make honestly that Human Centipede. Whoever created that, they need freaking sectioning.
yeah, that is a messed up film, really messed up film. Yeah. So recently, the London Dungeon has held a competition to see if they can find the most haunted object in the UK. And point to it,
But how
this
would
one in the
you
middle.
know? How would you know what's the most haunted object, even in the like, say, in the southwest?
Mm,
You
I think
can't
no.
ever label something as the most haunted somewhere. It's
Yeah,
like nobody can claim they've got the most haunted house in the UK because not every house has been investigated.
this is true. This is very true. To be honest, I didn't even know that there was a contest, so I'm sure there would have been many more applicants and stuff um, as well. But that little doll that you can see in the middle of the picture there,
It is an impossible claim.
yeah,
Something can be haunted by positive stuff and be producing positive stuff within that household, and you don't have a freaking clue that it's that object. Get what I
yeah.
mean?
So that,
Everyone jumps on any bit of activity in their place or anything negative. They
yeah.
jump on that they've got the most haunted place in the freaking UK, the world. We don't claim we have the most haunted shed in the freaking world.
I was going to say, look at the things in your shed. They're
Yeah,
occupied by
we
spirits,
don't
but they're all
claim
good.
anything.
Yeah,
But we don't go running to the media and papers when we get good stuff, do we?
no. So
Jeez.
apparently, it is the most cursed object in the UK. It's a porcelain doll named Florence, and this has only just come out in the news. So yeah, it won a contest held by the London Dungeon to find the most haunted object in the country. Florence's owner reported the doll moved and made unexplained noises. The owner of the doll, Sky, also claims to have seen the doll up close to her face.
Should we
Hi,
just put them
Bella.
out of their Should we just put these people out of their misery and give them Chiefs REM pod and say, there you go?
Yeah, brilliant. So that is her in the middle there, and she's got these little shoes, and apparently they hear them clicking together on their own, which is just
uh,
oh no. Um, they couldn't handle Chief. No, they definitely couldn't. They definitely couldn't. But yeah, that was
oh,
the last one of the haunted objects that I've got for today. So I thought I'd save that one to last because it's only just come out, and I wanted to see what you thought about that.
it's only just come out. It can't be that haunted then, can it?
No, that's what I thought. Like she's only just put it in this competition that's literally just gone out in the news. But what? Why have we not heard of it before? If it's the most haunted, you know?
Yeah, and if the TV says it's the most haunted, that's it. It's the most haunted.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's got to be
Jesus
true. If
Christ.
the media says that, it's got to be true. Eh?
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine if the media got a hold of all of our shenanigans?
they they can't ever do it though, can they?
So
That's
I
why
don't know
they
if
have.
anyone wants to hop on for the last 6 minutes and give your views. You're more than welcome to.
Davey, jump in the box. Come on. You don't have to put your camera on. Bet you won't.
No, of course you won't.
I will have him in the box by the end of the year.
You
It's
will.
my challenge. I will.
Which object would you say is the most active in your shed, Ali?
Oh, look at him. I'm on work calls. I tell you what, I'm getting you and Tash on in the box in the shed one night.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. The banter would
It
just
would
be
be hilarious.
someone's lost power.
And Davey's got the power.
Of course he has. No worries.
Hey, can we discuss how that photo I put in group ended up on the end of our clip? Because I didn't put it there. I was
That
like, what?
was definitely cheap.
Freaking people are going to think, what's she on about? Davey can have a job. That's why I know for a fact I didn't put it in there.
If you had to have one of these objects in your house, which one would you have?
I won't have any of them.
But if you had to pick one.
If I had to, I'd have the crying boy.
Yeah. Because all I see from that one is just sadness, really. I don't see anything
Yeah,
malicious, you know.
yeah, for sure.
I can
I
imagine
reckon
Robert.
Chief would have a field day with Davy in the box. I reckon he would be on his worst behaviour, Chief would.
Painting of the boy with the doll. Yeah. Yeah. I think that one I'd yeah. Either the crying boy or the painting of the boy with
The
the
thing
doll,
with
I
the
think.
crying boy is I always think, what was he crying about at the time?
Yeah.
You know? Hey, Becky!
This is why I love art, because there's so many questions. What is the
Yeah.
middle one? The middle one, Kieran, is the one that we just spoke about. So it's the most,
The
according to London Dungeon, it's
yeah,
the most haunted
it's like
object in the
only
UK.
just come out, mind.
Is the Bottom Nightmare of Pleasure doll? Oh my god. Hi, Becky.
I don't know, Davey. Why have you had one that looks like it?
Yeah, you tell us, is it? We wouldn't know. Oh, trust you, Davey, honestly. Lighten the mood. Oh, God.
He does it in group though, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Fucking has us in stitches.
I actually had nightmares about that Robert doll when I was, um, when I first heard about it a few years ago. I actually started having nightmares about it, and it was really scary shit as well. Um, but
Because
that's just my brain being
I
my
just
brain.
feel whatever that little boy was crying about at the time, I just think those the energy from those emotions would have gone straight into that painting.
Yeah. Maybe to draw your anger or your sadness, it can hold energy, at least you said.
And the other thing is, people don't ever think of, is like you do get spirits that get trapped, and it is said that if they stay trapped for a certain amount of time, who who they were in their soul, it all gets stripped away
Mm,
because it gets manipulated by evil.
yeah, yeah. I wonder if the people, like that little boy in the painting and the other little boy in the other painting, even though it was a self portrait, I wonder if they grow up with, I don't know what I'm trying to say, because everybody's put so much negative. So, take for example this little boy in the crying boy picture. So many people have put this negative spin on it, right? I wonder if his
Hmm.
life has been a negative life because of people manifesting negativity onto him unknowingly.
Well, yeah, it would be. It would
Mm.
be.
It'd be interesting to know a bit more about his life, actually. Maybe I should have
Yeah.
looked into that a bit more just to see what his life
We
ended
could
up
have
like. Was it a
we
good
could
life?
have a we could have a dig through, couldn't we, and do a follow
Yeah,
up?
yeah, definitely. Go
I
on, so
know,
many
right, Doodle?
supernatural scenarios are springing
Yeah,
to mind. Yeah, yeah.
because again, like so much information and knowledge has been erased, books have been burnt and
Mm,
replaced with the wrong information.
mm,
Which is why I am so glad I started researching at a very young age.
yeah, you got the original info.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us up
Is
to
it
an hour now.
already?
Yeah, it
Jeez.
goes really fast, doesn't it?
It
Does
does
anyone
when
have
we're
any
talking.
questions?
Yeah, anybody new wanna ask us anything or throw anything weird at us? We like weird, and nothing is too crazy for us, believe us.
Oh,
Nothing
definitely.
at all. 232 on the outside.
Nice.
Um, yeah, anybody had any spooky encounters?
Yeah. Don't forget, we're going to be doing some short posts on our TikTok
Oh,
page with
did
spooky
uh, did you get what Chief was on about, Jess? Next week, Chief wants us to do water spirits and nature spirits.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. That's a good
That's
one.
why he said it. That's
Ah.
why he come out with nature spirits and then the following night water spirits.
Oh, for anyone who doesn't know, Chief is a spirit that. How do you explain it? He's a spirit that.
Just he's attached to us all and he just
Yeah.
won't leave us alone.
He,
Basically.
he haunts us all in the best way, but he is very
Yeah, and he's
annoying.
fag. He's a freaking pain in the ass.
So Kieran's asked, on the flip side, could lucky objects work? Well, that is very interesting because again, it goes down
Yes.
to the manifestation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you have a lucky four-leaf clover, for example, if you think that it's lucky, it's going to be lucky because you're putting that energy into it. If you think
Yeah.
something's negative, you're going to be putting negative energy into it.
I'm not obviously going to speak about it, but look what us as a team has achieved in a matter of 3 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. So, hey, Brian. So, I think,
With
yes,
with
lucky
us
objects do
all
work because of
with us all
manifestation.
being it in that same mindset and all wanting the same thing, we made it happen.
Exactly. I really want to do a chat about manifestation because
Mm.
that's something that I'm researching at the moment, and I think it's really, really cool. Does anyone
Yeah.
else here do any manifestation? And I'd be interested to know how you do it. If you could send me a DM, that would be amazing. I can keep you anonymous, but just techniques on how you do it. Yeah, it'll be really good, that one. And
Just why don't
manifesting
you
is,
just ask me?
yeah,
I know all about it.
yeah. Well, you'll be on. You could do that one because you know more than me about manifest. This is something I'm just starting to look into. So you
No,
can.
but I'd like you to look at today's information, and then I'll come in
Oh,
with
okay.
nearly 3 decades ago information.
Oh, hang on. TikTok's making me do a. It just asked me which items of this picture are made from pig skin, and
Mm?
it was like rugby balls and footballs and stuff. Otherwise, it was going to cancel the live. So weird. Um,
Oh.
cool. Well, yeah, it was a great chat about these haunted objects. I'm really intrigued to know if anyone has a haunted object themselves. If you have, please send me a picture of it and what it's done. Again, I can keep you anonymous, but I would love to put a post out there. Or if you have any other haunted objects that you've heard of that you want me to cover, I can do little videos on the TikTok page about that. That'd be cool. And thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you,
Yeah, thank
Ali.
you. That's all right.
And when are you back live? Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow night, we're back at it.
Need you to send me the pic of the inside of the shop. Hey? Painting. What?
From the back. The photo you showed of inside the shop.
Okay, just drop me a message and I'll have a good evening too, Sandy. Take care,
Yeah, and you,
everyone.
Sandy.
Thank you for the
Yeah,
gifts
right.
and the likes as well.
Yeah, we coming off, are we?
Yeah, I only just try and keep it down to an hour.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
Lovely. Well,
Right,
thank
thank you,
you so much.
everyone. We'll be back on Paranormal Account tomorrow night.
Cool. We'll see you then. 7:30.
Mhm.
Awesome. See you at
Yeah.
7:30
All right. Take
tomorrow.
care,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.